Alright guys, today we're going to be starting the Dragon Ball figure recap, where we cover official Dragon Ball figure news and third-party stuff. First, we're going to talk about official stuff, and then the third-party, because I'm kind of saving the best for last in my opinion, because one of the third-party items being made right now, and of course you can probably tell from the thumbnail and stuff, is like, I am so honestly looking forward to that. So I'm going to save that stuff for after the official, right? Now, regarding official Dragon Ball stuff on Premium Bandai, the only thing for pre-order right now is the Son Goku Super Saiyan Fighter of Rage for $65. A bit expensive, but not the worst price we've seen from Premium Bandai. I mean, they usually tend to give Goku figures not the most ridiculous prices, right? Because I guess they figure, okay, so Goku's gonna sell well, we don't need to charge that much, but for like Krillin, who... I mean, a lot of people want Krillin. So Krillin's a pretty popular character. He's not as popular as Goku, of course, but Krillin's still pretty popular. But I guess they think like if a character is not as popular, they have to charge more for it, so they still make a bunch of money on it. You know what I mean? It's like if you sell 7 gurus for $5,000 each, you're gonna make as much as you would selling like 10,000 Gokus for $50. You know, I didn't do the math on that. I'm just talking there. Okay, well, you can do the math if you want to, but it's just as an example. And this figure looks pretty good. I really do like the look of it. I like the hair. It has that very smooth, like undefined look that early Super Saiyan Goku had. I don't know if I really need this personally because I do have the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, and I have one of those like blue shirts that I can like put on him to make him look like this. So I don't absolutely need this, but there is a part of me that kind of is thinking about getting it. I'm not sure. But it's scheduled for release in July 2026, okay? And pre-orders close January 4th. So you still have like almost a month to decide whether you want to pre-order this or not. It's really up to you, but it is a very good looking Goku figure. It does have the hip flaps, but as I said in that, Games Begin Goku video, to me the hip flaps don't look as bad on a battle damaged figure because you have like the shirt over here like hanging off, and it kind of like covers it a bit. It kind of makes the profile look a bit better rather than if you didn't have anything here and just like sticking out, So I think the hip flaps on battle damaged figures don't really bother me that much, like slightly, but not that much. Okay. Moving on, we have the Super Saiyan Son Goku Mini Daima. This one I didn't pre-order. I mean, $70 for this little thing, dude. Like, no, I'm not giving you $70 for this little thing, man. No, I'm not doing it. It has this energy effect, which looks pretty cool, but $70 for this? No, I'm not. If you like it, if you really like this look for Goku, or you're a completionist, or you want to get all the Daima characters, then sure, go ahead. The pre-orders are closed now, so you can't get it anymore, but it is scheduled to be released in December 2025, this month. So if you did pre-order it, then you should be getting that this month, okay? I don't know if you'll get it before Christmas or not, but it's scheduled for release this month, okay? And I mean, the figure looks pretty good. I'd say it looks pretty anime accurate and stuff, but I have noticed something with Bandai is that sometimes the prototypes in these like promotional images actually look better than the final product does. For example, with Kind-Hearted Saiyan Goku, the promotional images for that figure look incredible. But then when we saw him at the Tamashii Nation 2025 event, it didn't look as good. So I don't know if that's because that was a less, premium prototype than the one they used for the images, or if the actual final figure is not going to look as good as those images did. If it doesn't, I'll be kind of disappointed because I was really looking forward possibly to getting that figure just for the head sculpt. But if the head sculpt doesn't look that good, then it kind of leaves me kind of torn, okay? Now we're going to move on to Amazon. So on Amazon, I'm only going to show you stuff being sold by Amazon themselves, okay? Because I know there are some stories about people getting like scammed on Amazon. I've never been scammed on Amazon, so I don't know who these people are, but I've heard that there's stories like that. When you're on Amazon shopping, you want to look here and see who the shipper and seller are, okay? Right here it says Amazon.com. So you know that Amazon themselves is selling this, okay? Not like Billy Bob in his mom's basement just trying to scam you, okay? This is actually from Amazon. So first we're going to cover the Daima stuff, right? The Daima stuff is usually on discount. Right now, the Daima Adult Goku's on sale for $24.99, which is basically like close to a Dragon Star's price. And honestly, this figure, I'd say it's pretty good, so it's really worth that price in my opinion. $25 for this figure is a very good deal, okay? And I'll leave links to all these figures in the description so you can get it if you want to, okay? Prime shipping, free shipping, all that kind of stuff. Now, moving on here, we have the mini Goku, okay? Same price as the adult Goku. I don't have this figure. I thought about getting this figure at one point to animate like Goku versus Glorio, but then I was like, you know what? Bandai's probably gonna charge a ridiculous price for Glorio, which will make me not want to get it anymore. And I was correct, as you'll see soon. So I didn't end up getting this figure, okay? But I mean, it's a, it's a pretty good little figure. I hope that they can use this mold or like, remodel it a bit to make a Goten. Please just make a Goten. It's been like, SH Figuarts has been around since what, 2009? It's been, what is that? Let me see, 2009, 2029 is what, 20 years? Then you want to minus 4, 16 years? My math is horrible, okay, on the fly. Probably like 16 years of SH Figuarts, okay? And we don't have a Goten. Can you please make a Goten? You have him right here. All you gotta do is change this a little bit. That's it. That's it. This is basically a Goten in Goku's clothes. I mean, they basically look the same as kids, So just make a Goten, man, please. Oh my goodness. All right, but yeah, $24.99, pretty good price for that. It's basically like a Dragon Star's price. Then we have Vegeta, okay? This is from what I've seen of reviews. I don't have this figure, but it's a pretty good base form Vegeta. But recently Bandai showed off a prototype of a base form Vegeta based on Dragon Ball Z instead of Dragon Ball Daima. Will they actually release that, or will they continue the trend of showing a bunch of prototypes they never release? We don't know, okay? If you need a base form Vegeta right now, I'd say this is like a pretty good figure. I mean, it looks pretty good to me, and it can work for Z. The colors are slightly different, I think. Like the yellow part is a bit different than he looked in Z, but it's really very similar, and I think it works pretty fine. So if you want a base form Vegeta right now, you can get this, okay? $24.99, once again, Dragon Star's price. Here we have the mini Vegeta. Now this one has gone on sale as low I've seen of like, like $17 and stuff, like really, really cheap. I'm guessing it's not selling very well. A lot of people don't really want it. Right now it says $22.56, but on my Amazon Prime right here, it also says with a coupon, I can get it for $15.79, okay? They're like, please, someone buy this Vegeta, okay? Someone please take these Vegetas, okay? So I don't really want this. I don't have any need for it personally. There's nothing I want to animate with it or anything. It's, a decent little figure. It has no ab crunch as far as I know. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think it has no ab crunch. So the articulation is pretty limited. He doesn't even have a bicep swivel. Doesn't Goku have a bicep swivel? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know if Goku has a bicep swivel or not. But yeah, his sleeves right there. His sleeves have a cut. So his arm should be able to swivel. So Vegeta doesn't even have a bicep swivel, okay? So the reviews of this figure I've seen have not been very favorable. A lot of people think it's, really very limited and stuff like that. But you can get it, according to this, for as low as $15.79. I don't know if you were going to have the same coupon offer as I have, but $22.56, even that is a decent price. It's like Dragon Stars. Moving on, we have Glorio, okay? Now, this is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know who decides these prices. Do they spin a wheel and it just lands on a number? I don't understand this. Why is Glorio almost $100, man? Why? I don't understand this. I get the whole thing of like, okay, a less popular character, you're gonna charge more to make up the difference of sales or whatever, but dude, $95.27? Like, why would you think that's acceptable? Like, obviously I'm not getting this. Unless I find this for like, I don't know, probably 60 the most, preferably 40 to 50 somewhere else or something on sale and like no one buys it for 100. Possibly I could get this at some point, but for dang near $100, no, not happening, okay? If you want it, it's available for pre-order. It says free delivery Monday, June 1st, okay? So you gotta wait till June 1st to get it. It says this item will be released on May 30th, 2026, okay? $95.27, as I said. If you want to get all the Daima characters, or you just want to complete the whole SHF line or whatever, then hey, you got Glorio, but he's gonna cost you $100, okay? That is crazy. Moving on, we have Shenron here. This is a reissue of the Shenron, and it's listed for $118.66. It says free delivery Monday, March 2nd, okay? Released on February 28th, 2026. This is a decent figure as far as I know. It's, basically a display piece. I might consider getting this one day if I want to use it for like, a manga cover or some kind of animation or something, but I don't need it right now. But if you want a Shenron and you don't want to pay, scalper prices for it, you can get it right now. It's being reissued for next year, okay? So that's Shenron right there. Next, we have The Games Begin Goku, okay? And this is already released in other places like Big Bad Toy Store and stuff like that. But if you want to get it on Amazon with that free Prime shipping and stuff, it says free delivery Wednesday, December 31st. Okay, so it's not out yet on Amazon, but if you want to wait just a little bit to get that free shipping or whatever, you can get it from here. Okay, for $40, not a bad price. Of course, Bandai did raise the quote unquote budget price from 35 to basically 40 or 38. So yeah, I don't know. Well, will I get this? I'm not sure. Possibly, I might get it more so for like making a certain video about it, but not because I like really want it, But as I said, I think it's a pretty good figure. There are just some things that I really would like Bandai to change about it. The gaps and the flippin' flaps, But yeah, so if you want a Cell Games Goku, kind of a, Cell Saga / Boo Saga looking Goku, this is pretty much the best one available from Bandai right now. I still think, even though I don't like the flaps and the gaps, I do think aesthetically, for the most part, it is the best one they have right now, okay? Because the torso is sculpted very well, the body's sculpted very well, so it does look good, but I think it could be better, okay? I think it could be better. Next, we have the Super Saiyan Vegeta Dangerous Pride, and this is being released, it says you'll get it on June 30th, 2026, released on June 29th, 2026, okay? For $38, pretty good price, free Prime shipping, and I think this figure looks pretty good overall. I like the body. I like the fact that they didn't do those like hip flap things. They kept more of the like 3.0, as we call it, or as some people call it, leg articulation, I like that. And the head sculpts, they look, I guess they look good enough. They're not gonna necessarily compete with some third-party stuff, but they do look good enough. And he includes both his regular, the gold-tipped boots here, as well as these plain white boots from like the early Android saga or the Metal Cooler movie, so I might think about getting this one just mainly because of those boots and stuff. And I mean, it does look better than the 2.0, although the difference isn't like drastic. The 2.0 is not significantly worse than this. It's not like a massive upgrade, but it does look a bit better, so I'm kind of torn as to whether I'll get it or not, but that's that Vegeta right there. Next, we have the current Super Saiyan Vegeta called Awakened Super Saiyan Blood. Now, this one is for $34, so a bit less, and you can get it like right now, okay? Although it says free delivery December 26th to January 2nd for Prime members. I don't know why the shipping is so far away. I mean, it's like, it says available to ship in 1 to 2 days. It's being sold by Amazon, so I should be able to get this within like a bit, but it actually doesn't even say, it doesn't have the Prime logo here, so I don't know what that's about. But this is a decent Vegeta. I have this Vegeta, but usually when I do animation with this, I change the head sculpt or something. The Super Saiyan head sculpt is decent, but I have the Tonsen Art Toys one, which is better. So I would probably use that, or even Recustom is making some Vegeta head sculpts, which honestly look really good, and I might think about using those. But if you want a Super Saiyan Vegeta right now from Dragon Ball Z, you can get this one. It says December 26th. I don't know why the shipping is so far away, but yeah. Next, we have the Kind-Hearted Saiyan Goku. So this Goku, the prototype images look absolutely fantastic, okay? Minus the flaps and the gaps, of course. The head sculpt looks really, really good. Like this would be, it looks basically perfect for like the Boo Saga or the first Broly movie, like that'd be so awesome. But when they showed this at the Tamashii Nation event 2025, it didn't look as good as these images. I don't know why. I don't know. If they could make the figure look like this, then I definitely want those head sculpts, okay? So yeah, this is $38. It says July 31st, 2026. Okay, is when you'll get this one with Prime, released on July 30th. Okay. Then we have a Saiyan Raised on Earth. So if you want a base form Goku right now, you don't want to wait until July, okay? You can get the Saiyan Raised on Earth, although this one is based on the Namek saga. So it has, you know, the Tide Belt, the symbol on the front, the symbol on the back. Of course, the Cell Saga and Buu Saga did not have the Tide Belt or those symbols, right? So $29.99, it's on sale. This is a pretty good price for this, $30, not a bad price at all. And it's a pretty good figure overall. I mean, I really do think this is a pretty good figure, and it still holds up today. I don't think it's like, you know, super outdated or looks really old and horrible or nothing like that. Like, this is actually still a really solid figure. So that is that Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. Now we have Cell. Imperfect Cell, or what they're calling Cell First Form here, a reissue. It says it's out right now. So it says free delivery tomorrow, December 13th with Prime, okay? Now, this figure, I've heard, based on reviews and stuff, about people having this figure break on them. I'm guessing that was the original release. I'm hoping the reissue fixed those problems. But I mean, it looks basically perfect. I mean, I've heard, you know, people complain about the height of him. So there are some accessories that like third-party people make and stuff where you can like make him taller, get his legs extended and stuff. So you could do that if you want. But I think it literally looks perfect. And I mean, no pun intended, okay? It doesn't look imperfect to me, although it is imperfect Cell. I mean, this is just like, it looks straight out of the anime. And, you know, I feel like with the villains, oftentimes, Bandai just gives them, like, top tier sculpt level and stuff and makes them look definitive. And then with the, you know, major characters like the protagonists like Goku and Vegeta and stuff, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball a bit. And remember you talked about the whole conspiracy of like, oh, do they make them imperfect so they can improve them later? Whereas with Cell, they're probably not going to make another imperfect Cell for years, if ever, right? And so they're like, hey, we're only going to do this once, so we got to do it perfectly. No pun intended once again. But yeah, $77.47. I have seen this for much lower prices other places, like $50 on sale sometimes and stuff. So you could wait to see if this goes on sale, or if you have that, you know, fear of missing out, you know, you could get it right here, $77.47, and get it delivered tomorrow. It's literally in stock right now, being sold by Amazon, okay? Not being sold by, you know, Billy Bob and that kind of stuff. So next we have Majin Buu. I actually own this figure, $80, a bit expensive, but I really wanted a Majin Buu, so I got it anyways. I didn't get it from here though, but this is for, let's see, it says it's available right now. So Sunday, December 14th, you can get this like pretty much, you know, in 2 days. Prime shipping, $80. A bit expensive. It might go on sale at some point. I'm not sure. When I looked at Amazon for Black Friday, I didn't see any like, you know, really impressive sales for Dragon Ball figures. So they don't usually put more popular stuff like this on sale, really, I don't think. You'll probably find like, you know, the Daima stuff on sale because it's not as popular. But yeah, Majin Buu is a very popular character. I'd say it's probably better to get it sooner rather than later, because when this thing sells out, you know, unless Bandai reissues it again, scalpers are going to go crazy with this one, okay? Here we have the Dragon Ball Super stuff. This is the, you know, Unwavering Saiyan Pride Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And this figure looks pretty good. It has basically the same body as the Super Saiyan Vegeta we showed earlier, the 2.0. But the head sculpts look pretty solid. You know, I might get this figure at some point if I decide to use it for like, you know, some kind of graphic design project or something like that. It says $33.95 overnight shipping, so you can get this like literally overnight. And that's a pretty good price. You know, it's on sale, 11% off, $38. Not a bad price at all for this figure. Very solid figure in my opinion. Then we have the Dragon Ball Super Broly Full Power. Okay, this is a reissue. It says will be released on April 30th, 2026. So you have a few months to wait. I do have this one on pre-order. The price is, you know, the price is a bit hefty, but I really want a full power Broly. So, in fact, it actually says fully power. Fully power. Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh? Fully power. They kind of made a typo there. But yeah, I mean, this figure is like, you know, basically the definitive Dragon Ball Super full power Broly. Very solid figure. And of course, I would need this to animate like Broly versus Gogeta from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. So that's why I decided to, you know, pre-order this. And yeah, I mean, very solid figure. If you want it, you know, for scalpers, you know, typically scalpers ask like 150 or let's say 130 to 150 or more for this. So you're getting a bit of a discount here. $99.99, you know, free shipping at least. Then we have the new Super Saiyan Red Goku. This one is being released on September 15th, 2026. So almost a year from now, okay? I don't know why they put pre-orders for this stuff so far out. Like, dude, you gotta wait almost a year to get this. That's crazy. But I mean, it looks really good, honestly. The head sculpt looks really good. And I think even when we saw it at the Tamashii Nation event, it looks really, really solid. Like the figure there didn't look worse than these, like how the Kind-Hearted Saiyan did. Like it still looked really solid. And it's actually a much more slender body. So that is really, really good. The current like 2.0 version, to me, didn't have a slender enough body. You know, the 1.0 prototype they showed a while ago did have a very, slender body, which I think was very appropriate. But this one is really kind of harkening back to that. And yeah, it looks really good. Of course, I don't like the flaps and the gaps. But apart from that, the head sculpts are really solid. Of course, they have this one looking off to the side right here. Ah, boy. But yeah, so this looks really solid. $38, not a bad price. Free Prime shipping. Yeah, but you got to wait like a year to get it, right? Now here, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the new, like, I guess, whether you call it 3.0 or 4.0 or 5.0 or whatever Super Saiyan Blue Goku, this one, pre-orders are supposed to be up for this one as well. I've seen them at other places, like Big Bad Toy Store, for example, I think has pre-orders for this, but Amazon doesn't have them yet, okay? And this is scheduled for release in July 2026. And just like the red one, it looks really, really solid, I think. Very solid looking figure. The head sculpts look pretty good. Yeah, so this is really, really solid, Yeah, very good looking figure. Overall, I'd say. Yeah, but of course, you know the story. Let's see, Dragon Ball GT. So we got the Dragon Ball GT Kid Goku for $48.06. So it's on sale, 11% off from $54. This figure I do have, and as I said, I got it just for the DF Super Saiyan head sculpt, But it's just a decent little figure. He actually doesn't have a bicep swivel, I just noticed. So he has the kind of issue that Mini Daima Vegeta has. But a pretty decent figure. $48.06 is quite a bit for this little figure. I mean, yeah, the price is a bit excessive for this one. This really should be a $35 or, $38 figure. This shouldn't be a $50 figure, But of course, it includes the Kamehameha effect piece. So I guess they're like, oh, it has that. So that bumps the price up, this is just a little tiny little thing, man. It shouldn't like carry the price up that much, So let's now go on to the third-party stuff. So the first third-party thing we're going to cover is WoW Super Action Studio. As you can tell by the thumbnail, they recently revealed that they're going to be making a Saiyan Saga Vegeta. I mean, for me, this is incredible because I've been hoping for this kind of Vegeta for quite some time, okay? DF showed a render of this kind of Vegeta like a while ago. They've not released it. They might never, ever release that. Now, of course, as you can probably guess, I'm hoping that this has the baggy pants, okay? Please include the baggy pants. And I'm honestly hoping that even if, let's say they release two of these, I assume just like how Goku had two versions, Vegeta's gonna have two versions. They might release one of them in manga colors and the other in anime colors, although they're pretty similar. I don't think there's much difference between them. What I would personally like, honestly, is for them to make a normal Vegeta as well as a battle damaged Vegeta. Okay, that would be super cool to me. So I'm very excited about this one. And they posted on their story, they said, pre-order delay, need little improve, release beginning 2026. So I don't know if, I'm guessing they mean the pre-orders are going to start in early 2026, not that the figure's going to release in early 2026, okay? And they also posted this. They said, we have hype to show, still need improve, hope improve fast, big project. Now, when they say big project, what does that mean? Because I mean, Goku, I guess Goku is a big project, but is there something even bigger about the Vegeta project? Are they doing something they didn't do before? Are they going to have some extra stuff that Goku didn't have? I don't know. But this, I mean, the pants are looking, I can see a wrinkle there, I think. I can see a wrinkle there. Let me zoom in. Is that a wrinkle? Or am I just like reaching? I think that's a wrinkle. So hopefully that wrinkle is because those pants are baggy, okay? Moving on, we have DF. So recently, I think just like last night or early this morning, one of the two, DF posted a bunch of renders of a 3.0 Vegito. And honestly, for me, this looks really cool. Like, I might want to get this, but then again, will they even release it? I mean, because, you know, DF is well known, of course, for releasing a bunch of renders and not releasing the actual figure. So they showed the base form here, which looks good to me. I like it, although I will say there's another Vegito that will definitely give this a run for its money if this does release and the other one releases as well, right? The Super Saiyan right here, this looks super cool as well. But, you know, with DF, I appreciate their pricing, but oftentimes I will say, honestly, like, the renders usually look better than the final product does. Not in every case, I don't feel, but like, for example, the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Goku set, the Gohan renders looked much better to me than the actual figure did, you know, but it didn't look bad. It just didn't look as good as the renders. And this Vegito, this looks really, really cool. Like, I think I might want to get this, although I think his earrings, are they supposed to be green or yellow? I think they're supposed to be yellow, right? So that's probably accurate. Yeah, so this Vegito, yeah, if they release this for a decent price, I might want to get it if I don't get a different Vegito, which we're going to talk about a little later. They showed Super Saiyan Blue as well. Once again, it looks really, really cool, spot on, Martialist forever kind of body. This looks good. You know, unlike Gogeta, where the hair looks too small and stuff like that people called it Gohan, you know, I think the hair looks pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about this. The only thing I could say is probably like this part here. If they could find a way to kind of make that piece thinner so it's a lot closer to the other part of the leg and not sticking out like that, that'd be great. But it's not super noticeable. It's not like how Games Begin Goku and like well, Games Begin Goku improved on it a bit, I have to say. But like, you know, like the 3.0 Gohan, Trunks, you know, they really had that hip flap flying out kind of thing. Games Begin Goku has it as well, but not as bad, right? And this one, if they could just find a way to streamline that, that'd be great, but I doubt they'd like modify that too much. Next for DF, oh yeah, so Blue Vegito, we showed that already. And if you want the the Gogeta, the regular Gogeta, because they're supposed to be making a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but we haven't heard anything else about it yet. If you want regular Gogeta, Kang Dragon Ball Store is selling it right now. It's in stock, like you can buy this like right now. And this includes blue head sculpts, 2 blue head sculpts, a Super Saiyan head sculpt, windswept, and a base form regular head sculpt and base form windswept head sculpt. So this thing is packed with accessories, to be honest. You know, it looks really, really solid. I don't really like the face plates of the DF Gogeta that much, but I do think these ones might look slightly better than the Super Saiyan one did. You know, let me know what you think. But I already have the Tonsen Gogeta, so I don't need this. But if you want, you know, a slightly less expensive Gogeta, then this is probably a really solid option. The price is $63.17 here, which is more than DF usually costs, but this is, of course, with free shipping, and it also includes a bunch of stuff. Like, I mean, you got 5 different hair sculpts in there, so that's quite a bit of value for your money, I'd say. You know, you get a lot with this figure. You can see the accessories all laid out here, you know, and I think the pre-order bonus thing, the like little accessory, I don't know if they're including that or not. They said order and get special discount. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they include the little accessories or not, but this is a solid looking figure from Kang. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention, for all these figures, whenever I show like an Aliexpress link or whatever, I'm only going to show you links from stores that I have personally used, okay? So I've personally used after the whole tariff thing started. I actually contacted these stores personally and asked them, will I have to pay tariffs? What's the situation? And they told me you won't have to pay any tariffs, okay? And I got figures from like all these stores that I'm going to show you. I got figures from them and I did not pay any tariffs. So I'm not going to give you links to some random store I've never used before, okay? Only stuff that I've personally used. And here is the Gogeta again. This is from Treasure Toys this time. Actually a bit cheaper than Kang. So $63.17 for Kang. And Treasure Toys has it for $60.70, okay? And it says with the bonus. So that's including the accessory pieces here. These right here. If you want these, Treasure Toys is including them with this order right here. If you want only the bonus accessories, that's like $13.51. So yeah, but if you want it with the bonus, $60.70. It says Christmas sale, so it might not last for very much time. If you want it, probably better to get it sooner rather than later. Cheaper than Kang right here. Next, we have the Tonsen Art Toys Gogeta. Of course, I have mine. I got mine from Omni-May, but Treasure Toys has them on sale right here. And for $82.45, actually, they only have the Super Saiyan version though. The blue one is clearly sold out. That was the more popular one. Surprisingly to me, I thought the Super Saiyan would be more popular because the Blue Gogeta from Bandai has been out for years. So I figured that the blue one would be the less popular version, but I guess the Super Saiyan is the less popular one, which is interesting. So 82.45, including the free shipping there, and of course the price is quite high. But I have to say, in fairness, with Tonsen, you get a bunch of stuff for your money here. You get a bunch of accessories. It's not like Bandai where you get like 3 faceplates and 6 hands and that's it. Like you get quite a bit of stuff here. You got like 4 different faceplates. There's 2 different kinds of vests, and I think the 2 different vest colors, and each vest color has both normal and like a windswept vest. So like you get a lot. Okay. This is from Treasure Toys. It's a slightly cheaper than Kang. Oh, this is both Treasure Toys actually. Yeah, I don't know why they have 2 listings with different prices, but this listing is cheaper. Okay, whatever. Same thing from Treasure Toys. Yeah. Now we have Kang. This is the DF like Bojack Trunks, right? If you don't have the Tonsen ones, or you just want this for whatever reason, it's available right now. 51.30, not a bad price. You get a lot of accessories with this. So yeah, I prefer the Tonsen ones, of course, because I really don't like those hips there. No, I don't mess with those hips. But if you want the DF Trunks, that is available right now. Okay. And of course, Tonsen Art Toys is reissuing their like first version of Trunks next year. You have this is the version B, which is, I believe, more like base form clothing colors with manga hair. And then this one is more like Super Saiyan clothing colors with anime hair, at least the purple hair part, right? So I think this one's the better looking figure. As I said, I don't really need this because I have the Bojack Trunks from Tonsen, and the body's like basically the same, except these ones have a watch on the left hand, and I could just use a different like short haired Trunks head sculpt or whatever. But if you want these are being reissued. I don't know the reissue date, but I think it's supposed to be like first quarter 2026, I believe. So not that far away. But of course, with third-party stuff, you never want to like 100% guarantee that the release date they say is when it's actually going to release. Okay, third-party stuff gets delayed all the time, postponed. They're like, oh, we got to improve this, we got to improve that kind of stuff. Like for example, I mean, HMYR and Air Studio, they've been making Super Saiyan 2 Gohan for like probably, is it almost 2 years or what? It's like, or a year and a half. It's quite some time. Okay, I pre-ordered that from 5K Toys like probably over a year ago, and I've heard nothing yet. It's not available yet, so they're still working on that. So with third-party stuff, unless they say it's in stock right now, don't assume that the date they mention is going to actually be the definite release date. Okay, this says May 13th. I don't know. That could just be a placeholder, but Treasure Toys is trustworthy as far as getting your figures. I didn't pay any tariffs, all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Next, we have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta by Tonsen. This looks pretty solid. I know it's kind of a controversial figure because some people think it doesn't look like GT. He's too slender. He's not buff enough and stuff. I don't personally really have any issue with how it looks. As far as the vest color, people mentioned that they're including the GT color vest with the translucent hair instead of the solid hair. But when I looked at GT, like, I don't think this yellow vest really looked quite like GT either. I mean, honestly, the color in GT from what I saw looks kind of like an orangish yellow that's in between both of these. Like, it's not this bright, nor is it this dark of an orange. So I think like actually neither vest is completely accurate to GT from what I could see, So I feel like I personally remember Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta having an orange vest rather than a yellow one, even if it was like a slightly brighter orange than this. But I guess it depends on your eyes, how you see colors, that kind of thing, But it looks really solid. It has, as far as I'm aware, this straight tail hair is actually like a bendy wire tail. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this or not. I'm going to wait and see if DF is going to reveal, that they're actually releasing theirs, because theirs includes actually fusion hands for Goku and Vegeta. But this one doesn't include any fusion hands, although it does have the like confetti party hand kind of thing and the Big Bang Kamehameha, of course. So you get a lot of accessories. I just really wish they included the fusion hands. If they included the fusion hands, I would have much less reason to consider the DF version, because of course DF is also probably going to be a lot cheaper, or at least probably like $20 or so cheaper, you know? So yeah, it's really up to you at that point, right? This is of course listed by Kang, $79.78 with free shipping. That's a typical price for Tonsen, not really much more than you would usually pay. And then there's this render here. So this render was posted on Instagram, and it's of course Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It is not clear yet who exactly is making this. I would say for me, it looks pretty good. Of course, these should be black, I believe, not red. And I think they should just shorten the legs a bit. If they just shorten the legs a bit, or I guess extend the torso, whichever one, then it will look better. But this doesn't look bad at all. I mean, the face sculpt looks really, really solid. We're not sure yet who's making this or the information about it. It was just posted, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, whatever. So I don't know who's making this. Then we have the ZT Studio Broly. This should be out like right now, okay? It might be like, you know, probably next week or so for some people, for some sellers, but this should be releasing like any day now or should already be out in some places. And this honestly looks really, really good. If I didn't already have the DF Broly, I would probably want to get this one, although the price is a bit extreme. I mean, $131.60 with free, the shipping is free, yes, but $130 is quite a lot. So, I mean, you do get, I guess, decent value for your money. You get a lot of accessories here. You get this massive effect piece right here, and you get folded arms. Where are the folded arms at? Oh yeah, you get crossed arms. You get the pointing hands and stuff. So you get a lot for your money. You do get a lot, okay? But 130 is a bit high for me. I don't know. If it was like 70 or something, I might have thought about getting it, even though I already have the DF version. But since I have the DF version, then I mean, I don't absolutely need to get this, you know? But if you want it, 130 from Kang, free shipping. There we go. And ZT Studios, they also released some. Is it ZT Studios or ZT Studio? I don't know, one of the two. ZT Studio, they recently released some renders of a Super Saiyan 4 Broly. And as far as I know, this one is like based on, was it Dragon Ball Heroes, the Limit Breaker thing? Someone said it looked like Daima. I don't know which one it is, but it's Super Saiyan 4 Broly. I'm not really that into the, like, you know, it's not really what if. I guess it's kind of like what if stuff, you know. I'm not really into that so much. But, you know, these look, I guess they'll be very similar to the, you know, this Broly over here, just a Super Saiyan 4 version. So if they look similar to that, just Super Saiyan 4, they'll probably look really good. I'm assuming you got a good amount of accessories as well. And they also showed like a regular like GT Super Saiyan 4 with the black hair. So they showed both this one and this one, okay? As far as release date, pre-orders, all that stuff, no information yet. Then we have the LS Studio Moro. Now, version A of this should be out like right now, okay? There's reviews online, at least one review I saw, and you should be able to get this immediately. Version B, now I have not read the Dragon Ball Super manga, okay? So I don't know much about Moro and his different looks and forms, but as far as I know, this one, the version B one, is based on when he like absorbed Maris's Ultra Instinct powers, and so he had the white fur instead of the like brown fur, right? So this one's not out yet. This one though, this one should be out like right now, and I'd say the figure looks pretty good. If I had read the manga and I was like into the manga, I'd probably be like really, you know, wanting this figure. But yeah, so this is from Kang, $70, free shipping. You know, not the worst price ever, and you do get a lot of accessories. As I said, you know, like you get this like, energy effect here. You get this energy effect here. You get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different face plates. You get 3 head sculpts. Get another energy effect up here. You get 8 hands. Well, actually 10 hands. So you get a lot, you know. And I don't know what this other arm is for. I guess his arm is like battle damage there. So yeah, that is the LS Studio Moro. And this is from Treasure Toys, $79.25. So Kang is $70, free shipping. Treasure Toys is $79.25, free shipping. So Kang is actually basically like $10 cheaper than Treasure Toys here in this case, okay? As for version B, price for that is also $79.25, and from Kang, same thing. So Kang is basically like $10 less than Treasure Toys in this case. Next here we have the DF Super Saiyan, you know, Goku, basically like a kind of like a Warrior Awakening Goku. Can't remember the exact name for this. Oh, it's called Fury Awakening. There we go. So this is basically a 2.0 version of the Fighter of Rage Goku we talked about earlier. So if you want this look for Goku like right now, you don't want to wait till next year or whatever, you could get the DF one from Treasure Toys right here for $57.43. Not a bad price, includes the shipping. Of course, I'm guessing the tariff thing does affect the pricing somewhat. DF figures usually wouldn't be like this high, but they are including free shipping, and we do have to factor in the tariff thing a bit as far as why they might have to charge more to cover different costs or whatever. But yeah, so Treasure Toys, I purchased from them, of course, after the tariff thing started, didn't have to pay any tariffs. Next, we have the Martialist Forever Return from Beyond Goku. Of course, I do have this one. I really like it. The head sculpts aren't the best to me, at least most of them. So I have the recustom on there, as you saw. But I do prefer this body style to the Games Begin Goku. So if you want like a kind of Cell Saga, Boost Saga, Super Saiyan Goku, then this is a good option. $55.53, free shipping from Treasure Toys right there. And then we have this Vegito. So I was talking about how, there's a different Vegito I'm thinking about earlier. It's this one. It's from MP Model or M Unit. I guess they have two different names now. And honestly, this looks fantastic. This is it's basically combining the upper body kind of thing from Games Begin Goku without having the bunch of gaps from what I can tell, and using the kind of hip design from like the 3.0 or Martialist Forever Superhero Gohan kind of thing, but it looks to be kind of like refined a bit. So this looks really solid, and I'm thinking about getting it. I'm not sure though. I have to think about it. Because if DF releases their, where is it? If DF releases this for a way lower price, then I might just get that instead. But I mean, this does look really good, and it has like a soft kind of rubber on the upper torso and stuff. So man, it looks really good. But I think the earrings are actually inaccurate though on the Super Saiyan one. Let me see. Hold on. The earrings are supposed to be, I think, orange or something, but they have them green. So that is a bit of an issue. Hopefully they fix that. Like, yeah, like right here, the earrings in Dragon Ball Z, I believe, are supposed to be like orange, not green. So they need to correct that, hopefully. But yeah, 83.41. As far as the release date, this says May 29th. I'm not sure if that'll actually happen. 5K Toys have pre-orders for this, but they've since sold out, I believe. So, you're not going to get it from there unless they have like some extra stock or whatever. And yeah, so this looks pretty cool. They also have these extra kits here, which are like different base form, head sculpt, blue and yellow, and some kind of energy effect. So if you want to get that, but I mean, dang, 45 whatever for the energy, for the extra accessories is kind of crazy, but at least it's free shipping, I guess. Treasure Toys right there. And then we have the DF Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. This is a 2.0 Vegito. If you want a Blue Vegito right now, you don't want to wait for like, this MP model one. They have, of course, Blue and Super Saiyan, right here, Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue. Or you don't want to wait to see if DF actually releases their 3.0 Vegito Blue. You can get this one right now, $55.92, and it includes, of course, free shipping from Treasure Toys wholesale store. All right, so we're getting near the end here. I want to cover basically two last things, okay? First is Melmac FX. So he is currently making a bunch of different future Gohan kits for the Games Begin Goku body. They look pretty good, but there is some stuff I want to say, not about the kit itself as a product, but just about this venture, and you'll see what I mean, okay? So this is a 3D render of, I guess, the base in the Super Saiyan kit, showing like, the Games Begin Goku body and that kind of stuff. And it looks good. It looks good, of course. So here, right here, it says, he posted on Instagram on his story, "Today is the pre-order, be prepared." This was December 9th. It says, "With how widespread this is, I will be taking a higher quantity of orders. This will be a pre-order to pretty much fund the production of the kits on a mass scale. This is the biggest and most exciting project I've done to date, and I look forward to creating this kit with y'all." Now, something that concerns me, and this is nothing personal, of course. This is more, I'm really actually saying this more so out of concern for this person's well-being than any kind of like, I'm not trying to like criticize them, you know what I mean? I was watching the Figure and Films podcast, right? And on there, one of the guys basically described this as this customizer essentially becoming a third-party company right? Like, because I mean, at the end of the day, where do you really draw the line between a customizer and a third party company? Like, what is the line? Is there really a line? You know, I don't know. And I know that I've never seen anyone get in trouble for making custom Dragon Ball stuff ever in my life. The only company I've personally heard about getting someone into trouble for making like custom stuff is Disney. I think, like, as far as I heard, one time someone like painted like a mural or something for someone in their bedroom of like Mickey Mouse or something, and Disney, you know, went after them for it. So Disney, as far as I know, is pretty ruthless regarding that kind of stuff. I've never heard of Bandai or Shueisha or Toei, you know, going after someone for making custom Dragon Ball products or selling, you know, custom art or whatever. But I will say that when he says here to produce the kits on a mass scale, it makes me a bit concerned because if this gets too much attention, right? And like Bandai becomes aware of this and they're like, "Oh, this person's making a like tons of Gohan kits and stuff." I don't know. I just feel like the chance might be slim, but there is the possibility that Bandai or someone could potentially try to go after this person for some copyright reason. Because I mean, at the end of the day, yes, you say like you call it a custom thing, right? But you are still making a product of a copyright protected character, right? So there is the possibility of someone seeking legal action against you because of it, okay? As I said, the chances of it might be slim. I never heard of that happening, but what really concerns me is that if this person essentially ends up being I assume they're in the US. I'm not 100% sure. I assume they're in America. If this person ends up becoming like, you know, a third party company in America, that is extremely dangerous in my opinion because, you know, people kind of perhaps they think that the third party thing is totally, you know, totally cool, totally fine, no problem. But we have to remember that basically all of these third party companies, like 99% of them are, or I think even all of them, there might be some in other countries, but 99% of them at least, right, are in China. And in China, copyright laws are not enforced as strictly as in the Western world, like America, Canada, the UK, and so on. Okay, so that's why, you know, bootlegging is such a big thing in China because it's not regulated as much as it is in the US. Okay, if you start making a bunch of bootleg stuff in America and like the government or whoever finds out, like you're gonna get in trouble 99% of the time, or at least I think the chances are very high. Like I saw a story one time where someone was buying like bootleg Pokemon figures and like customs found out that there were bootlegs and the person got into trouble. You know what I mean? So bootlegging, third party stuff, whatever you want to call it, doing that in America is more dangerous than doing it in China. So you can't basically apply the same standards that you would to a Chinese company as you would to someone in the US. Okay, someone in the US has to be much more careful. But as I said, I've never heard of someone in America getting into trouble for making custom Dragon Ball figures or anything. So there may not be an issue here, but there is sometimes that case where Bandai decides to make an example of somebody or something. Okay, so I just say to this guy, like, the kit looks great. I would personally try to operate a bit more covertly, a bit less, because when you say a mass scale, it's just, if it gets too much attention and it gets the wrong kind of attention, man, it is possible you could face some kind of legal trouble because of this. Like, Bandai could tell you a cease and desist. I don't know. Okay, that's possible. But moving on from that, just wanted to give that, you know, in case they see this or someone who knows them sees this, just like remember to operate with a bit of caution. Like, this is not, America's not the Wild West like China is, okay, as far as copyright stuff goes. And I know it's called custom. That might protect you in some way. I'm no business expert or copyright expert, but I would just tread with a bit of caution when you're saying stuff like mass scale and people are calling you third party in America. You want to be careful, okay? So this is their website, and a lot of the stuff is sold out. They have like a bunch of Gogeta kits as well. and those look pretty good. You know, one of them is sold out, but our main focus here is the future Gohan stuff. So there's like different tiers of this. So you have like the base form and Super Saiyan. You have Beast and Super Saiyan Red and stuff. So a lot of different kits. This one, it says sold out, but it seems that it was extended because this says extended Hope of Tomorrow kit. So yeah, now the prices are a bit high. They said that mainly, as far as what they said, the reason the prices are so high is because this is meant to be kind of like a GoFundMe, I guess, you know, crowd-funded thing where the money that's being used to purchase, like when you buy this thing, that is being used to like mass produce this stuff. Essentially, he said on a mass scale, right? So I don't know how much mass is. Does he mean like 1,000, 2,000, just 500, 100? I don't know what mass means. Okay, in this context here, according to them. But tier 1, it says base kit $45 plus shipping and tax. It says all pictures are of work in progress prototypes and are not the finished product. This will be a fund to produce pre-order. Okay, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, fun to produce. Okay, so the Hope of Tomorrow kit, this is the like basic, just like, I think this is just base form. I will say I wish that the website like kind of like clearly stated what each kit is, because here it says 4-tier based kits to upgrade your games to begin. Goku figure, each variant will have its respective information upon selecting them. This is a fun to produce kit, meaning proceeds from the pre-sale will go towards mass producing kits due to the sheer volume of items. ETA completion is Q2 of 2026. All pre-sales or sales are final unless project has been canceled. So like, I wish instead of this kind of like generic overview thing, I wish it specifically said this kit includes XYZ, you know, so you could see specifically what does this kit have, you know. Now the next thing, this is the base and Super Saiyan kit. This is out of stock according to this website here. So yeah, I mean, if they're being mass produced, I'm surprised that some of the stuff is already out of stock. I don't know how many orders were allowed to be placed, you know. And I know on Reddit, a lot of people were like very, very upset about the prices. But apart from the, you know, fun to produce thing, another thing to consider is the fact that this person is, you know, basically a customizer from what I can tell, not like a full company like, you know, DF or that kind of thing. So usually customizers charge higher prices because it's more of a personalized experience. They might hand paint certain things or hand make certain things and stuff like that. So usually customizers charge more than like a third-party company, right? Although some third-party companies these days charge insane prices too. So yeah, so tier 2, it says tier 2 and above includes pre-order bonus. Now, once again, what is the bonus? You know, I don't know what the bonus is. I wish the listings and stuff said like, what is the bonus? You know, I don't know what the bonus is. I can see the things in the image, of course, but which of them are bonus? I don't know. So it says this is base in Super Saiyan, and you see it right here. This is still in stock right now, $85. 4-tier base kits. Let's see, it says tier 2, 2 times hair sculpt, 14 face plates, 2 torso replacement parts, 1 belt, yada yada. You can read all that stuff. It's actually a lot. There's actually you're getting a lot for it, to be honest. It's not like you're getting 2 face plates like how, like, you know, TK will give you. So you're getting actually a lot for your money here, but the price is of course higher than a lot of people would like to pay. So this is Beast and Super Saiyan Red. So you see the Beast head sculpt over here. I assume this would be the red, you know, so that is that. This is another tier 2. So tier 2 has 2 different things in it. This is on the website, $85, the same price as the other one. Tier 3, it says includes pre-order bonus. What the bonus is, I couldn't tell you. It says $150 plus shipping and tax. I think this is probably the best value for your money overall. If you get this, you're getting a bunch of stuff for $150, right? So as far as value, he's not like ripping you off completely or something, you know? 2 sets of body replacements parts, base, Super Saiyan Red, and Beast. Okay, so that's like basically getting everything in one there. So this is a lot of stuff. I can't say it's not a lot of stuff. And this is on the website, $150. And then he posted here saying decals are being printed. So I guess these are the Beast and Super Saiyan decals for future Gohan. So the kit looks pretty good. It is a bit expensive. I'm not super in need of a future Gohan figure right now, so it's not something I'll probably be getting. But if you want to get it, this is his website, all the posts and stuff like that. And just, once again, I'm not trying to criticize the seller himself in any way. I'm actually just trying to like basically say, be consider the possibility that if you start, in some people's eyes being considered a third party company and you're in America and not China, that might have legal ramifications for you. Okay, so just tread cautiously and keep that in mind. Now, the last thing we're going to cover here before we conclude this whole video is TNK Studio. Of course, as you know, or a lot of you should know, they're making some Cybermen figures, and they look pretty good, to be honest, and the price is actually pretty decent. They're like $60 for 3 figures, which I think is a much better price than like the Cell Juniors were. Those were like 70 to 80 or more for those 3 figures. So this is a much better value for your money. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is 2 reasons. The first reason is someone asked TNK Studio like about the whole US tariff thing, right? And they basically said like they're trying to make sure you don't have to pay any extra tariffs, but basically they can't promise that. And they said to like, check your local customs information and stuff like that. So I personally will not be touching these, because if they can't tell me that I won't pay any tariffs, then I'm not taking that chance. Okay, I'm not risking it. I mentioned before, I contacted Hobby Model Store, I contacted Kang Dragon Ball Toy Store, or Kang Treasure Toys, and they all told me I won't have to pay any tariffs, and I didn't pay any tariffs. TNK Studio told that guy that they're not sure, basically. So when someone tells me they're not sure about the tariffs, I'm not touching it, because if I get like a $5,000 bill from customs, I'm not paying that. Okay, that is just ridiculous. The whole tariff thing, yada yada. So yeah, and another thing I want to mention about TNK is that a lot of like figure like YouTubers and videographers and stuff had or have discount codes for this. That to me, I kind of the same thing as the the future Gohan kit thing. I would just say to those people, be careful, okay? Be careful, because if at any point, I don't know where TNK is located, I think they're in Mexico based on what they said. But if at any point, right, Bandai were to go after TNK Studio with some cease and desist or some legal action, and you are seen as being some business partner of theirs, or some, accessory in the whole process or something like that, it could be possible, I don't know for sure, but you could possibly be implicated or like seen as, guilty by association, or like, oh, you were involved with this project and you had a discount code and you did whatever and stuff like that. Okay, so I would urge, social media persons and stuff like that, please be very, very careful with how much you involve yourself in the quote unquote third party Dragon Ball quote unquote business or quote unquote market. Okay, it could have legal problems for you in the future. Like I remember, I think it was probably last year, Richie Figs had posted saying, I think it was Richie Figs, I'm pretty sure, posted saying that he was going to be partnering with CT Toys or something like that. And my thought was, yeah, dude, you want to be careful, because CT Toys is in China and you are not in China. Okay, so if Bandai goes after them in China, yeah, they're in China. China doesn't have the most, stringent enforcement of copyright laws and stuff. But America, you don't want to be in America associated as some kind of business partner with a quote unquote third party company that has legal troubles. Okay, you just want to stay clear of that. I know like people might think, oh, I could, get some, get a cut and get part of the percentage or all that kind of stuff. But you really want to think very rationally, carefully, and cautiously about how much you allow yourself to be connected to these companies from a business or a legal standpoint. All right. But yeah, guys, that is basically everything I wanted to cover today regarding Dragon Ball figure recap and stuff. There was a lot of information to cover. Hope it was useful to you all. I hope the, my views about the whole third party legality and possible legal issues thing, could potentially help someone to avoid trouble in the future. But yeah, if you want to stay up to date with Dragon Ball figure news and stuff like that, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.